This is Jeff again, and this week you've been learning about MongoDB replication using replica sets. And now I want to show you how to connect to a replica set using the MongoDB Java driver. So I've set up a replica set, and when I run rs-status on it, I can see that the set name is RepelSet, and I have three members all running on localhost. The first is on port 27017, and it's the primary. And then there are two secondaries on 27018 and 27019. So let's look at a Java program. And in this program, you've seen this before, I have a Mongo client connected to 27017, which, as you remember, is the primary. Then I get a Mongo collection and I drop it and loop forever, essentially inserting a document with a monotonically increasing ID, and then I sleep for half a second after each one. So if I run this, it works as you might expect. It inserts the documents. That's fine, but let's say that there's a failover. So I'll simulate a failover by doing rs.stepdown. Now you can see that 27018 is the primary and 27017 is the secondary. So if I run the program again, notice that we're not inserting anything. Mongo client is waiting to find the primary, and it's not finding it. So I can fix this by changing this to 27018, and then if I run it again, all is well. But that's not very satisfying. Since MongoDB replica sets have automatic failover, we'd like to take advantage of that when using the driver. And I can do that very simply by passing a list of server addresses to Mongo client. When you pass Mongo client a list of server addresses, if the members in that list are members of a replica set, it will go into replica set mode and dynamically look for the primary and any secondaries. So in this case, it will work as before because 27018 is the primary. But even if I switch this to 27017, it still works because the driver discovers through 27017 that 27018 is the primary. But we still have a problem because if we go to our replica set, we see that 27018 is the primary, but we're only specifying 27017. What if instead of stepping down 27017, we kill it? Or let's say it dies, rather. So let's kill this process entirely. And now when we run this, even though this is part of the replica set, the driver can't reach it because the process is down. So this doesn't work. So to guard against this, the best practice is to specify several members of the replica set. So let's copy that, and we'll say 27018, and we'll just do all three. And now we're back in business. 27018 and 27019 are up, so the driver connects to both of them, determines which is the primary, and uses that for the inserts. And then I can go back here and start that up, and everything's back, and the driver continues as before. So one other thing I wanted to show you is if you enable info level logging, you'll actually see quite a bit of interesting information scroll by in the logs. So when I start this up, you can see that it says that we're created a cluster, a client-side view of the cluster with these hosts in mode of multiple because it's a list. And then it tells you that it's added discovered server, localhost 27017, 08, and 09. And then this is the first insert happening. And since the discovery happens in the background, what's happening is that before the insert happens, the background processes have to determine who the primary is. So you'll see a message at the very beginning that says no server chosen by primary server selector because the background processes haven't connected to the servers yet. And then it says it will wait for 30 seconds before timing out. And then you can see here's the background processes. It opened connections to 27019, 08, and 07. And then it says that it's discovered that the cluster type is a replica set, discovered the replica set primary is 27018, and then server selection can proceed for the insert, which needs the primary, and we open another connection, which is the one that the insert runs on, to the primary, 27018, and then we start inserting documents. So one last bit of protection you can give in your application is to specify the name of the replica set. And you can do this with Mongo client options. So you can do that with the required replica set name. And the name is RepelSet. And when you do this, the driver will guarantee that these servers are indeed members of a replica set with this name. But if I change this and try to run again, it will fail and eventually time out because the driver will find that these are indeed replica set members, but they aren't members of a replica set named repleset2. You can see that here. So in this lecture, we saw how you can use a list of server addresses with Mongo client to specify the members of a replica set, and that the Mongo client will automatically determine which is the primary and start sending requests to it. We also saw how you can use Mongo client options to specify a required replica set name.